それではこれよりパネリスト全員による総括質疑を行います。ここからの進行はモデレーターの黒木様にお願いいたします。黒木様、よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you. Thank you so much for all being back again. Welcome back, all panelists here. We are now back on the Q&A session, and I would like to give more time, especially for working session 1, because I said sometimes wrap up please. So I want to give more time for you to explain about your system. So probably for especially Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos, I said wrap up for you guys. So from Mr. Krause, do you have any questions to panelists?
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I would like to ask Vietnam, Quinn-san. It's okay? Okay. According to your explanation in Vietnam, enforcement in IPR infringement will move to judicial proceedings in the future. Does it mean that the current style of administrative enforcement will be reduced? For example, is the market surveillance agency, MSA, going to continue to crack down on the trademark infringement products or not? Please explain the new plan, new schedule in Vietnam.
Okay, thank you, Professor Kurose. Actually, about the comments you have, or the question you have raised, we recorded in the National Treasury for IP of Vietnam until 2030 that the administrative measures for IPR infringement will be reduced by improving the judicial mechanism. Okay, and when saying this means we have the process for moving the IP case to the court. Okay, actually now provided by the Vietnamese laws. As I already mentioned in my presentation, that we have two measures. First is administrative measures, and the second one is judicial measures. And even it's already provided by laws. However, in practice, almost about 90% of IPR infringement handled by administrative agency. So it's in practice. However, the cost is the same. The other country in the world, the court have the authority to deal with civil and criminal case. Infringement in general. And then because in practice, the judicial measures for IPR infringement in Vietnam take times. I think even provided by laws. However, it takes around like 2 years or more than 1 year for a case, a civil case. It's not criminal case because of long procedures and because of the complicated procedures like evidence and many things. And then IP right holders, they don't want to go to the court. And always IP rights holder like Baker and McCutcheons, Vietnam, also they advise the author or the trademark owners to go to file administrative measures first, and then if the administrative agency say no, and if it cannot settled by administrative measure, and then they go to the court. That is in practice, and it's because of this situation, and then the government, the government and Supreme Court go to have the conclusion actually that we're gonna have the different measures, different solution to shift the IP case from administrative agencies to judicial judicial system. Actually, that is gosh. Okay. And also, I want to give you the information that now we are amending IP laws, and we have a two solution. Is now working at the National Assembly that the first solution that we keep the current provision means that we have at the same time parallel ways for administrative and judicial agencies. However, and the second solution that we reduce the infringement, IPR infringement case that will be subject to administrative measures. And with the second solution in the draft IP laws now is that only trademark and geographical indication will be the subjects for administrative measures. However, the National Assembly saying that no, it's not good. You should give the current provision. So now we are waiting for the trending, okay, for the trends in Vietnam now, and that is for both from the policy perspective and from the administrative perspective. Okay, let's see, and we're gonna have the new laws in June of next year. Okay. Professor?
Thank you very much. Very interesting. And my experience that in Vietnam, it is very useful to use the SMAC, market controller, because it is very quickly and very low cost. We can settle the conflict issues. But you said in even not only and trademark infringement cases still remain to the enforcement by the government agency. Is still, for example, MSA is continue to crack down the trademark infringement case if the device is IP law.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I understand the question. Oh yes, the answer is yes. All the administrative measures will be have the authority to work with trademark infringement, including MOSD and market surveillance. However, now the stronger direction is keeping the current provision, because the IP rights holder and IP association, they are calling for keeping the current provision, meaning that MOSD keep working with patent case, unfair competition, trademark, graphical indication, and trade name, and market surveillance, keeping working with trademark and graphical indication. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Very interesting story. And I very often to visit Vietnam. So the next year, after the Corona conflict over, visit again and ask some questions concerning the new system of IP. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to hear about this. And please contact me. And really happy to invite you and receive you at my department and working with the other IPR enforcement agencies in Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, okay, so another question to the Cambodia. One question. Yeah, Song-san, okay? So I heard in Cambodia, we can consult with the DIPR about the issue of counterfeit products, not only CCC. When a counterfeit product is found, does the right holder usually contact the CCC or the IPR, which is more common? Because according to your explanation, the CCC is not accepted a small amount of the counterfeit product.
Thank you for your questions. Actually, IDPR is a department in or under Ministry of Commerce. Usually, it works as a registrar, mainly dealing with certificates or certificate documents to confirm the right holders ownerships, or to confirm whether these samples of products are authenticated after the victim or the mark owners or the good owners confirm. So it is very common that the victims or the rights owner goes to IDPs to generally work with IDP officers to get some certificates or documents. And later, if they have enough evidence to prove that they are the owners of that product, then it is the start of the complaint, and then it will be either forwarded to the custom, either to the economic police or the CCC. So commonly, right holders will go to IDP to get their document, work with the registers, and later the actual investigation would either go to the economic police, the custom, or the committees itself.
Thank you very much. I first visited to the DIPR before the CCC is established. 1911, I visited DGIP. At the time, the person who in charge of the trademark, he said, please come to here to when you found some infringement cases. Okay.
Yes, that's right. Actually, there's a lot of complaints going to IDPOs, and those complaints usually dealing with collecting evidence, and basically, to put it into words, it's a paperwork to gather evidence. And later on, if we have enough evidence or the right holders have enough document to prove to any authorities, then it is the official investigations start. So IDPOs, when we visited in 2011, yes, the committee itself was not yet established until October 2014. So please come and visit Cambodia again. And
yes, I know. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You. So next is Laos. Sunya-san. One question.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you explained that your right holder can ask the DIP some consultation before they applying the case to the police. So when we request the DIP to issue the official opinion, so do you have to pay a fee or free or?
Just a small fee if they file the complaint to the DIP, and they can pay for the service fee, but it's not much, just a service fee.
Okay.
Yes, it's allowed maybe a $20 allow this.
I see. Okay. So I try to ask the DIP. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
thank
welcome.
you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, now I'd like to, from the moderator, I would like to ask one question to Tyrant. Yes, I've got the answer from you. And for the first question, you said that besides the police or the court, Department of Special Investigation will take the action to investigate the counterfeiting product if it is a big case. So what do you mean with a big case for Department of Special Investigation to investigate?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the value of the case, but under the law, under the Department of Special Investigation, they identify the value of the case, maybe 10,000 baht to be the big case of the IP infringement under the Department of Special Investigation. I'm not quite sure about that law, but we have the minimum for case to be the big case.
Thank you so much for your answering question. Yeah, it is clear to me. Thank you so much.
Additional question is that, if the case is a small amount of infringement goods, so that time, is it better to apply directly to the economic police for help with the problem?
Most, every case, even the small case, can go to the economic police to handle with that case together with the IP owner and the DIP. Normally we the DIP and economic police and IP owner go together, monitor in the area of the counterfeiting irregular.
Thank you so much for answering the question. The next question is also from me to Singapore. Yes, I'm very interested in your system, and especially private investigator. Could you kindly describe what kind of people they are? So, do they have some qualification as a lawyer or something?
Sorry, Kuroki-san, can you repeat the question again?
I'm sorry. I want to know about private investigator in your country.
Yes.
Especially what kind of people are they?
Many of them are ex-police officers, but they are required to attend a course. And as I mentioned earlier, the licensed investigators are subjected to interviews and the licensing regime, which is regulated by the Singapore Police.
Oh, thank you so much. So, do they have, are there some lawyers as well as investigator?
There was one many years ago whom I know of, who was a lawyer, and then he decided to convert and become an investigator. But he's the only person I've come across, who's made that leap. Yeah, that's the only one I know of.
Yes, Thank you so much for your explanation. It is clear to me right now. And by the way, this session will be until 6 or 5:50, but we will have photo session later, and we will have close remarks. So probably we will finish it in 5:50 or something.
Yes. One question. May I ask one question to this Philippines? Teodoro-san is okay? Well, I ask you. Oh, yes. In general, how long does it take for a decision to be issued in criminal proceedings in your court in the Philippines? I heard the criminal procedure take a long time.
Yes, that has been observed, so much so that under the new rules of the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court ordered all trial courts for IP cases to decide their case within 90 days from the time that the case is submitted for decision. As to how long a particular case lasts, it depends on how the lawyers are able to move both the prosecution, because it's handled basically by the public prosecutor with the private IPR owner assisting, or the private lawyer is acting under the supervision of the public prosecutor. It can take, let's say, about 3 to 5 years. But with the new advice of the court, it may slowly move down in terms of speed. Secondly, the new rules also require all courts now must report their cases of intellectual property rights enforcement or violations to the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. And we are establishing a monitoring and case tracking system so that we can be able to assure that certain cases should not take any longer than it should. So efforts are being taken now so that cases can be resolved faster than it used to be.
Thank you very much. I hope so. Thank you. Also, same question to the Malaysia. Mahadi-san, how long does it take in your country in a criminal prosecution procedure in court? Yeah.
I think I would agree with the Philippine families, because it depends on the court to decide. But as for us, we should have, I think for us, our enforcement officers process to take decision whether to enforce on the complaint lodged to us is really a very short period of time based on the documents. So we make a decision whether to do the rates, and later on we will refer it to our deputy public prosecutor when they issued the sanction to prosecute the case. Then we will prosecute the case, whether we prosecute it in court. And normally the court, because we have the special IP court in Malaysia that we setting up it a few years back, so that the IP court will decide faster than the normal time. So based on that, maybe we can make it less than a year, based on the case, the complexity of the case. Thank you.
Thank you very much. IP court is very important to speed up the procedure. In Thailand, the intellectual property court has been established So the even the criminal cases are being carried out very quickly, I heard. Ruengon-san, is that right? In Thailand.
Could you please give me the question again?
Yeah. In Thailand, there is the IP code, so-called IP code. So the even the criminal procedure, it's not so take a long time, very quickly to decide it.
I think it take a long time because it is a criminal punishment. Is not a civil procedure. Yeah.
Average, how long does it take? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or some?
I'm not sure about the answer. Yeah.
I see. I think the IP code is more effective to quickly to take action. I see. Okay, thank you. Joe?
Okay, thank you. Our next question is actually from me. I think it is not so related to the topic here, but I'm interested in Cambodia presentation. The front page, you have some support members from judge students. How can you, relate it to a judge student as a prosecutor? I'm not familiar with your system, so could you kindly explain about it, Ms. Song?
Thank you for having an attention on the research team and members who actively help me with preparing these slide presentations. I was heavily involved with some court hearing recently, and because I am also one of the lecturers at a part-time lecturer at the universities and judicial trainings. Here in Cambodia, we have a Royal Academy for Judicial Training for judges and prosecutors, where they all come and study together. And at the end of a 2-year course, they will then split up into their specialists, whether to become a judge or prosecutors. So those names appear on my slide presentations are my team members who have been trained and give lectures. They start the internship with me for the last 6-7 months. And they're not only working on IPs, but other type of criminal cases that I'm supervising. They will become judges and prosecutors in the near future at the end of next year. Thank you for asking this question. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for all the support they have been helping me in preparing not only this presentation, but other documents as well. All the thanks to them.
Thank you so much for answering my question. I was really interested in that because I'm a judge and I'm in cooperation with your country to do legal technical assistance. So it was pretty informative for me.
Thank you.
So probably we can wrap it up here, and then we will have a photo session. So let us briefly talk about. Let us have closing remarks from Mr. Croce, and then we will have photo session. So, Mr. Croce, you have the floor.
Thank you, Kuroki-san. Yeah, thank you very much for eliminating counterfeit products from the marketplace is very important, not only to protect the interests of right holders, but also to protect the interests of the consumers and maintain sound economic activity. In other words, countermeasures against counterfeit products function to protect the public interest. And I think that the government should actively implement them. So in many ASEAN countries, counterfeit products can be cracked down on relatively quickly by cooperating with government agencies. Please keep this situation. However, right holders have pointed out one point that court procedures happen long after the crackdown is implemented. And also the penalties are light. So they are ultimately the deterrent effect on infringement is low. It's also important to educate consumers in order to prevent the expansion of sales of counterfeit products. I hope such symposium like this will continue to be used to learn about the current situation in each country and to facilitate the effective control counterfeit products being sold, being distributed in the international markets. So I believe we are able to have a very meaningful discussion today. Thank you for participating in the symposium despite your very busy schedule. I am looking forward to see you all again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kurose. Now I would like to move to the photo session. Just wait for it, being with your smile. Thank you so much for panelists. Let us have some time, sorry.
Okay, now we will shoot a couple of photos of all the panelists. So Mr. Kurose and Mr. Kuroki, please look at the camera person here. For all other panelists, please look at your own cameras. So please, you ready? Cameraman? 준비大丈夫ですか? Okay, so please make a big smile and keep it for 5 seconds after I count 3. For here I count 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you very much. We got a great picture.
Thank you so much for your cooperation. So we have reached the end of the session. So once again, thank you so much for being active participate here. And I'd like to say thank you so much for all panelists. I think that it is quite meaningful for us to have this kind of symposium, especially administrative enforcement actions against infringement and counterfeit products, because I'm a judge, so I was not familiar with the system, but I think it's much faster if you can take advantage of it. I just know that here. So once again, thank you so much for all your efforts to be here, and I wish I could have you next time. So thank you so much once again, and see you soon in some countries. Goodbye. This is the end. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. See you next time in Tokyo.
Thank you so much.